So coming to the silicon control rectifier. This is one of the most popular device from the thyristors family. This is one of the most popular device from the thyristor family. From the thyristors, so many devices are there like SCR, triarc, diarc, and you can have a MCT, RCT, reverse conduction thyristor, static thyristor, so many, SUS, SCS. Out of all the devices, but this is one of the popular device. It is invented in the year of 1957. Afterwards, there is a lot of developments in the electrical engineering control. After the power electronic devices, there is a lot of changes. You can't expect such changes. Before that, every method of controlling is a conventional method. Even if you want to control one machine, we have to connect another machine, world linear method. Such a complexity is there. That complexity is eliminated after the invention of thyristor. One of the very popular device. The beauty of this SCR is it can handle even 3000 amperes of current, up to maximum of 3000 amperes of current. And it can capable of handling the voltage around 10 kV. You can have a 10 kV. This is 3 kilo amperes. This is 30 kilovolts. Together, the SCR can capable of handling approximately how many? 30 megawatts of power. It is not that much simple. If you take your normal PN junction diode, it may not capable of handling even sometimes 5 volts. But you see here how much power. Such a high power handling capacity is available from the silicon control rectifier. It is the beauty. Sir, why this name is called silicon control rectifier? Why not it is a germanium control rectifier? As we know already, in the case of semiconductors, silicon is popular, germanium is also popular. You may be studied. Silicon is popular, germanium is popular. But if you compare with these two, silicon is very popular, no doubt it is. Why in the industry, why in the market, there is no germanium control rectifiers? Because in the case of germanium control rectifiers, the germanium is capable of only minus 40 degrees Celsius to maximum of 100 degrees Celsius. But safe operation is only up to 60 degrees Celsius. It cannot handle very high powers, high temperatures. That's why germanium is not become as a popular power electronic device material. But coming to the silicon, it is capable of handling from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 225 degrees Celsius. Of course, safety is up to 175 degrees Celsius. Because of this, the silicon is popular. The silicon material is used for the rectification using a control. That's why it is called silicon control rectifier. Its full form is like that. But however, the silicon control rectifier, you see how much power it is capable of handling. A few points about the silicon control rectifier. Those points are, it is a half controlled device or semi-controlled device. Sir, what is half controlled device, sir? The SCR symbol is like this. This is the symbol used for SCR. This one is anode, this one is cathode, this terminal is gate. In the case of SER, the gate is used to only turn on the device. The gate is not used to for turn off the device. Hence, controlling is only half. Hence, it is a half controlled or semi-controlled switch. Basically, this we are using as a switch. This we are using as a switch. And another important point here is, the second important point is, it is a unidirectional device. It is a unidirectional device. Unidirectional device. It means that the current is flowing from only anode to cathode, not from cathode to anode. That's why this blocking symbol is used. I already told you in the case of power diode. Now additionally diode is here. Controlling is there. That's why we got additional gate. Gate is a controller. Even if you take in your home, there is a gate. What for gate? Because it is control. Whether you are allowing the people or you should not, you may not allow the people. If you close the gate, people will not come into your home. If you open the gate, people will come. Such a name we are using here. Same thing, gate is a controller. And other one is, it is a bipolar device. This device is a bipolar device. These are all important questions useful for your competitive examinations. Your competitive examinations. Any exam if you go, these fundamental points are very, very important. Sir, in the bipolar transistor, in the case of bipolar transistor, what is bipolar? It is not a transistor, it is a bipolar device. What is the meaning of it? It has a voltage blocking capacity in both the sides. Voltage blocking capacity in both the sides. It means, you can see here, we have a forward breakover voltage here, forward blocking capacity is here, and reverse blocking capacity is here. That's why it is a bipolar. In the electronics, bipolar device is different from the bipolar switch. There it is a different meaning. Don't confuse for that one. Bipolar device is different, bipolar switch is different. And what we are going to say, it is a unidirectional device. What is this unidirectional device? This is the current conduction only here, forward current conduction blocking. In the reverse side, no conduction will take place. No conduction will take place. This point belongs to the unidirectional. These 2 points belongs to the bipolar. In further classes, we are going to classify what device having what type of properties. For example, if you take triac, triac is a bidirectional bipolar device. How that is bidirectional? You take IGBT, what is the property, what is the FET property, all these things we can discuss in coming classes. But coming to the SER based on, because you know very well, coming to the SER characteristics, roughly you know very well, it is the characteristics like this. This is a forward blocking. And reverse side we have characteristics like this, reverse blocking, and current conduction is in this direction, not in this direction. That's why it is a bipolar unidirectional half controlled and minority carrier device. This is a minority carrier device. Minority carrier device. Sir, what is minority carrier device, sir? Generally, if you take FET, you take FET. FET is what? Can you tell what is FET? FET is a majority carrier device. How can you say FET is a majority carrier device? Because their current conduction is due to only majority carriers. That's why that is a majority carrier device. In this case, the minority carriers are also involving for the current. That's why whenever minority carriers are available for the conduction, that's why then the name we can call as a minority carrier device. And one more important point. One more important point is, it is a latching device. What is this device? It is a latching device. Because we know once if the current is exceeded by some value, the device will goes into the conduction state. That's why you can call as a latching device. So SCR is a latching device. SCR is a minority carrier device. SCR is a bipolar device. SCR is a unidirectional device. SCR is a half control device. SCR can capable of handling very high powers even in the order of megawatts. It's an order of megawatts. Sir, why the name is called thyristor, sir? Do you know what is the name is called thyristor? Actually, thyristor means there is a old device which is called thyratron. Thyratron. One device is there, thyratron. And the latest device is a transistor. The construction is like a transistor. Working operation is like a thyratron. Hence, it's a combination we can call as a thyristor. Combined, it is called as a thyristor. Now, coming to this silicon control rectifier, we want to discuss mainly three topics. One is, so many extensions will be there. One by one is, number one, we have to talk about the static IV characteristics. Static IV characteristics. Number two, dynamic characteristics. Dynamic characteristics of SCR. Number three, gate characteristics of SCR. Gate characteristics of SCR. So many things we have to talk. If you go to the any examination, whether it is a gate exam or even a staff selection commission exam, or even engineering service examination, even GENCO examination, TRANSCO examination, whatever exam you take, if the power electronics syllabus is available for your exam, we can expect 100% question from a silicon control rectifier. Reason is, it is the popular device we are using in the power electronic. That's what it is. Now we want to see what are the static characteristics of SCR. If you want to talk the static characteristics, first of all, we want to see how the construction it is. From the construction point of view, we can move into the static characteristics. Coming to this SCR, we are going to discuss about the static characteristics of an SCR. Here we have a layers like this. Layers like this. This one is P1, N1, P2, N2. Even while I am drawing the diagram also, you have to verify carefully. This N2 layer is much larger. If you see the much larger. So, whereas N2 layer is a thin layer. This is a thick layer, this is a thin layer. Generally, if you consider, this terminal is called as anode, this terminal is called cathode, and this terminal is called gate terminal. This is a gate terminal. What is the use of anode, cathode, gate, and all these things we will discuss. Before going to the discussion, first of all, the basic fundamental question, in general, they will ask you, SCR is a 4-layer. 4-layer. P1, N1, P2, N2. 4 layers. 3 terminals. 3 terminals. That is anode, cathode, and gate. And a 3 junctions device. 3 junction device. So this junction we call as J1, this junction is J2, this junction is J3. J1, J2, J3. And one important point regarding this, N2 is a very thin layer among all. Very thin layer among all. And also, it is highly doped material. Highly doped material. This N2 is a very thin layer and a highly doped material. About the P2, this is somewhat higher than this one. Layer is somewhat higher. Some little bit more layer and moderately doped. Moderately doped. Coming to the N1, N1 is the thickest among all. This is a thick layer. This one is a thick layer, and also it is very lightly doped among all. Lightly doped layer. And P1 is almost as P2. P1 is almost as P2. As P2. So by this discussion, sir, why unnecessarily I am writing all these things? Are you feeling like that? No, because there is a J1 here, J2 here, J3 here. Once if you make a forward bias for this device, where the more breakover voltage will take place. If you made the reverse bias, where the breakover voltages can be handled, generally the N1 and P1 are the lightly doped junction of J1. That's why during reverse, the most of the voltages, breakover voltages, reverse breakover voltages can be handled by the junction J1, but J3 is not a big responsible one because it is highly doped. Lightly doped layer can carry the higher voltages, higher breakdown voltages. So J1 is more responsible to carry the more breakover voltage as compared to the J3. As compared to the J3. Now what is its static VA characteristics of an SCR? If you see the static VA characteristics of an SCR, it is a very, very important topic. This is anode current IA and this is voltage VAK. Sir, where is that voltage, sir? This is the voltage applied between VA and K. This is VA and K. This voltage is called VAK. Anode is given to positive supply, cathode is given to negative supply, forward voltage you are applied. Once if you apply the forward voltage, what is going to happen at these junctions? So this is the positive voltage, na? Hence it becomes plus, 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 plus like that. All upper layers I can take as a positives like this, positives like this. All upper layers we can take as positives. And coming to the lower layer, this is the negative supply you are given here. Negative is here. This is negative is here. This is negative is here. If you verify this J1, P is connected to positive supply, N is connected to negative supply, hence this becomes forward bias. And J3 you see P is connected to positive supply, N is connected to negative supply, this is also forward bias. And this one is automatically, N is having positive supply, P is having negative supply, it is a reverse biased. This is what J1 and J3. J1 and J3 are forward biased, where J2 is reverse biased. That point if you want, you have to write each and everything. While watching the video, try to maintain notes yourself. And for the next coming classes, one by one, if you want to really follow these classes, you must subscribe the Sai Medha. Then only you can watch. Otherwise, you are not going to get any notifications. How can you know it? What class is coming in the next day? What time is the next session? Lot of problems also. Suppose you take SCR, after working operation, I am going to talk to you number of problems. Calculation of latching current, holding current, different questions we are going to discuss. So that if you are not subscribed for Sai Medha, try to subscribe now itself. Okay. Anyhow, once if it is J1 is forward biased, J1 and J3. J1 and J3 are forward biased. Forward biased. Whereas J2 is reverse biased. J2 is reverse biased. Sir, as we know, this one is very, very important thing is J1, J3 is forward biased. J2 is reverse biased. Once if J1 is forward biased, it acts like a PN junction diode forward biased. Hence, it is trying to conduct like this. Current is coming like this. Current is coming like this. We are following the conventional current direction. That's why I am writing here. If it is an electronic current, means it's going upwards. It's going upwards. Now, what happened here? Here also current is trying to come like this because of forward bias. Because of forward bias. But here what happened? When it is a reverse bias means it will not allow the current. Depletion region will increase more. If you take a diode here, just you can see here the diode. If a diode is like this is a p-type material, this is a n-type material. Once if you made the reverse bias for this one, N is connected to negative supply, P is connected to negative supply, N is connected to positive supply, the depletion region will increase like this. Electrons will not diffuse from N side to P side. So that's why what we can see in the reverse side, current is very small. The current is very small during reverse. This is the diode characteristics. In the similar manner, even J1 and J3 are forward biased, but J2 is reverse biased, so that current is not flowing. Current will not flow. Then if you see how the current, even if you are increasing your voltage, anode to cathode voltage increases, your current is not increases. The current is almost like this. But once if you give voltage more and more, at some point of voltage, this J2 will breaks down. The J2 is going to break down, as like what I told in the ordinary diode. Once it breaks down, what happens is, it allows the current drastically from here to here. So that until your breakdown voltage, this is your breakdown voltage, no current, almost all zero current I can say. Negligible leakage current is flowing in the device. Once if it is reaches to forward breakover voltage, what happens is suddenly current is flowing from anode to cathode. Sir, once this is forward, it is also like a forward, it is also acts like a forward, it offers some low resistance of the device. This may be having very few ohms and current is flowing through this one. It acts like a closed switch. What is the voltage across the closed switch? Do you know? It's not open, it's a closed switch. Voltage across the closed switch is very small. The on-state voltage of this device is 1 volt, maybe 1.2 volts, something, very small value. So, suddenly what happens is, because of it is shorting, the voltage will comes like this. Immediately, voltage will comes like this, up to this point. This voltage maybe you can consider as an on-state voltage drop. But as we know, current is also starts increasing. Suddenly, the voltage will fall here and current starts increasing like this. Current starts increasing like this. This is the, up to this area, whatever is there, this area, what is this area? You can call this is a forward blocking mode. Forward blocking mode. This mode is called forward blocking mode. And whatever this region, we have this region, now this region is started, this is a forward conduction region. Forward conduction region. Sir, till now, whatever I explained here, we are not discussed about the gate. We discussed about only anode and cathode, voltage is given, J1 and J3 are forward biased, J2 is reverse biased. Once if the voltage is more than the breakover voltage, it also acts like a starts conduction when current starts conduction like this. Now, whatever the voltage here, forward breakover voltage, but it is not at all advisable to operate up to the breakover voltage in the device. There is a chance of failure. There is a chance of failure of the device. Always we are trying to give the voltage below the breakover voltage. For example, a SCR having rating of 200 volts. It is safety to operate below the 200 volts, not up to the 200 volts or above 200 volts. So, we have to operate our device below the, what is this one? Forward breakover voltage. Then what we have to do? We have to provide a trigger. We have to supply a gate signal. We have to fire the SCR. So, we are giving some gate signal is here. We are giving gate signal is here. Once if the gate signal is given, it will induce additional holes into the p-type material. It acts like a highly doped junction of the layer. It can break down for a lower voltages as compared to the if gate is not supplied. Once if the gate is supplied, this avalanche breakdown will take place early than compared to the without applying the gate pulse. So now if you apply the gate pulse, what happens is our device conduction may comes here, you carefully listen here, this one will be starting like this. So before, under this condition, what is our IZ? Is 0. For the first case, your IZ is 0. You are given some value of IZ, this is called IZ1. Once if you give the gate, if SCR is in conduction, after some time, even if you remove the gate, it does not show any effect on the SCR. Only to turn on the device. After turning on, even if you remove the gate pulse, nothing will happen. For example, in your home, you are allowed some one person into your home. Afterwards, once he is in home, whether you close the gate or open the gate, what happened? He is in home only na. That's why gate is not having any effect after the conduction. Before you want to turn on the device, we have to apply the gate pulse. So that is the reason SCR is a half control device, semi-control device. What is the meaning for that? It is only to turn on the device, not possible to turn off the device. There is no control on this. Similarly, I given a more gate current. What happened? Your conduction will take more early like this. I'll give some more gate current. What happened? Our conduction may comes like this only. So, this value is called IZ1, IZ2. This value is called IZ3, something like that. What is the relation we got here? When IZ3 is greater than IZ2 is greater than IZ1 is greater than IZ0. Automatically what happened? Your breakover voltage is reduces. Once gate current is increases, your breakover voltage. Initially you require this much of breakover voltage. Next case you require this much of breakover voltage. Next case this like that, breakover voltage will reduce. This we will discuss in the gate characteristics of an SCR. Now we are talking the IV characteristics of an SCR. We can talk the gate characteristics of SCR also in the next session, coming sessions. Are you okay? Sir, this is the importance of a gate. Now, there is one important terminology always we are using in SCR. That terminology is latching current and holding current. There is a good terminology. Always we are talking about the two currents. One is latching current, other one is holding current. So, what is that latching current, sir? What is that latching current? What is meant by the holding current? Holding current. Latching current. Pakado. Aisa pakadega na? Latching. Once if the current reaches to this current, once the current reaches to this value, even after reaching this current, if you remove the gate pulse, the SCR will not turn off. It is an on state only. This is associated to turn on the SCR. When SCR is in conduction state means after reaching the minimum value of current to maintain continuous conduction. The latching current is the minimum current required to the SCR to be in continuously in conduction state. So, you have the latching current somewhere itself. This may be the latching current. Sir, what is holding current, sir? Holding current is associated to, it is a very, very important objective question. Holding current is associated to turn off the SCR. Latching current is associated to turn on the SCR. Holding current is associated to turn off the SCR. So what is that? If the SCR current comes below the holding current, then the device will goes into off state. If the current above the latching current, the SCR is going into on state. If it is not comes below the off state, there is no below the holding current, there is no guarantee for off. And if the current is not above the latching current, there is no for on, guarantee for on. Like that we have to think. So your holding current somewhere is here. Your holding current may be here. Holding current. So latching current is associated to turn on the SCR. Holding current is associated to turn off the SCR. Then what is the relation, sir? What is the relation between? Which is more current? You see in the diagram also latching current is higher than holding current. The latching current is approximately equal to 1.5 to 3 times of the holding current. 1.5 to 3 times of the holding current. Different textbooks they will write different values, but the average value you can write like this, 1.5 to 3 times of the holding current. Sometimes in your examination, they will ask you to calculate holding current and latching current in the problems, in the numericals. We have to do. Several problems are there. What's one of the important topic in entire the power electronic devices is SCR. SCR is a one powerful. Without SCR, I don't think your question paper. Any exam if you concern. Now, this is about what I explained completely about the forward characteristics of the device. Forward, static VA characteristics of the forward device. Now what we are going to do? We are going to make our power supply is reverse for that. Our power supply is reverse for that one. Just for simplicity, I am removing this. I think you can understand very easily, not be a problem. Everyone, I hope you are following. Now what I will do here? I'll make reverse. Voltage is reverse. So now anode is connected to negative supply, cathode is connected to positive supply like this. Once if the anode is connected to negative supply, this layer becomes negative. This layer becomes positive. This layer becomes negative. This layer becomes positive. And this is upper layers all are negatives, lower layers are positive as already what I written. For that it is a opposite configuration. Then you check here. P is connected to negative supply, N is connected to positive supply. Automatically it goes into reverse bias. Here you check. N is connected to positive supply, P is connected to negative supply. This is also reverse bias. And what about this one? N is connected to negative supply, P is connected to positive supply. Hence it becomes forward bias. So during the reverse voltage, J1 and J3 are in reverse bias. J2 is in forward bias. What happened? Here the electrons are trying to come and flow like this. Because of forward bias, electrons are coming to flow like this. But what happens? It is a blocking. Reverse bias means current will not allow. It is also blocking. It is not allowing the current. So no current will take place. But if you increase the reverse voltage more and more and more and more and more, at some particular voltage, this one and this one, they becomes breakdown. J1 and J3 will break down. Once they break down, what happens is the current is flowing in this device, but that current is a reverse saturation current. It is like as an ordinary diode. Hence, if you see the reverse characteristics of this device, you have the reverse current like this, like this, like this, like this. Once if the breakdown comes, the current is going like this. This is called a VBR, reverse breakover voltage. This voltage is called a forward breakover voltage. This is called reverse breakover voltage. Sometimes examiner will ask you, sir, forward breakover voltage is more or reverse breakover voltage is more? That is the question you can see in your exam. But The forward and reverse breakover voltages almost all same. But reverse breakover voltage is slightly greater than the forward breakover voltage. That is the reason in the manufacturing sheet, if you want to buy one SCR, they will give specifications. For breakover voltage of SCR is 1000 volts. What voltage that is? Is it a forward breakover voltage 1000 volts or reverse breakover voltage is 1000 volts? Which is the value? Because that 1000 volts, whatever the rating is given, that belongs to the forward breakover voltage, not reverse breakover voltage. Why? Because you cannot exceed this value. For example, your forward breakover voltage is 1050. Sorry, reverse breakover voltage is 1050. Forward breakover voltage is 1000 volts. What is going to happen? If the manufacturer is given 1050, what happens? Sometimes we may give the forward voltage of 1025. Under that condition, our device may damage. That is the reason the lower voltage they will provide on the manufacturing sheet. Which is lower voltage? Forward breakover voltage is the lower one. So this is called a reverse blocking mode. This is called as a reverse blocking mode of the device. Forward blocking mode, reverse blocking mode, forward conducting mode. These are the static IV characteristics of an SCR. Static IV characteristics of an SCR. I think everyone is easily understand how these devices can act like. When it acts like a forward bias, during forward bias, voltage drop is very, very small. You can see this voltage only, but current is increases like this. In reverse bias, the current is very, very small. Very, very small. Once if the breakover comes, it acts like a breakdown. So it is like an ordinary diode, no difference. These characteristics are different. During this region, if you see, from this point to this point, your SCR acts like a negative resistance device. Why negative resistance? Current is slightly increases, but voltage is decreases. That property possesses that devices we call as a negative resistance devices. This is what a working operation of SCR. If you have any doubts on this particular discussion of topic, immediately send your doubts on our Sai Mehta channel. Myself or my faculty is ready to answer you whatever the doubts you are having in this related to this topic. So next, after completion of the static VA characteristics in the next coming class, you can see what is the dynamic characteristics and gate characteristics of an SCR. Don't forget to subscribe Sai Mehta channel. You are going to gain lot of knowledge, whatever you want for your examination. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.